Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the R6 Pro League podcast. Tonight I'm joined by Dante and we have a special guest, Brovck from IEG, with us tonight. So just to start off with, we're going to ask a couple of questions, get to know Brovck. So tell us a little bit about yourself, aside from IEG, because we're going to get into that in a minute.
Well, my name is Bryce Luz, also known as Brovck, or Brovck in the IEG discords. I'm 19. I'm a freshman in college. I'm going to school for, right now I'm looking into philosophy, maybe a little bit of psychology, and business minor. But after that, I just play a lot of video games in my spare time, as most of my staff does. I play Siege from time to time, not as much as I wish.
No, fair one. So I'm going to get into a couple of questions about IEG, the whole reason why I've asked you to come on the podcast. So for those that don't know, I didn't really know about IEG until we started speaking. What exactly is IEG?
Well, IEG is a tournament / league host provider. It's kind of a mouthful. We need to find a better name for that, or a better word for that. But currently, we host leagues and tournaments in Rainbow Six Siege and CS:GO. Rainbow Six Siege, obviously more important, obviously a little bit bigger, a lot bigger, and that's pretty much it. We've hosted one or two kind of charity tournaments, just trying to get awareness for the hurricanes that hit this summer.
Oh yeah, cool. That's all pretty cool. See, moving on then. Well, here we go. What kind of tournaments do you do for Rainbow Six? I'm going to concentrate on that side of it rather than CS:GO because of the nature of our podcast.
It is a Siege podcast. I understand that.
Exactly. Hello, I've been watching CS:GO Boston qualifiers all weekend, so there's that too. So, what kind of tournaments do you do? Do you do like the standard bomb only sort of pro league rules, or do you do like secure area, or 3v3s, 4v4s, etc.?
So currently, we only host the bomb and the 5v5 variant for tournaments. We have looked into hosting others, more community-oriented tournaments, but for the large part, the competitive aspect of Rainbow Six Siege is in the bomb and the 5v5 game mode. We actually haven't hosted a tournament for a few months now because of holidays and just the current league, but we're looking to get back into it again.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would agree. Bomb only is kind of what I play personally. All the other game modes turned off. I think Dante, you're the same, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm saying bomb. Hostage sometimes just to muck around and
Yeah, but it is the most competitive of them all. That's obviously why ESL and the Pro League and stuff do them as well. Obviously, secure area might, as you say, might be a bit more community oriented to get a few extra people involved who don't normally get involved, but bomb only is where it's at. So what made you start IEG in the first place?
Well, I started IEG coming up on a year ago, and really what brought me into the game was my love for Siege. I played the heck out of that game when it first came out. I absolutely loved it. And from that, it kind of transitioned into when I was getting ready for college. That was something that the skills I was learning, like coming into it and while I was there, that's something. The IEG is something I could apply like business skills to in a real world scenario, and essentially use it for professional experience.
Okay, so very good. I can understand that. What regions do you cover, and how many teams do you currently have in each region?
So right now we are in the NA and EU regions. This is actually our first season of EU. We have 16. We have between 26 and 28 teams in NA across two different leagues, IELC and IEL Open. And then for EU, we have 16 teams in the IELC division.
Okay. Would you ever have any sort of aspirations to go further around the world and say go to Latin America or APAC or anything like that?
Definitely. We've been looking into ANZ, a little bit of Latin America. It's hard to get contacts in those countries that I guess have an interest in working with someone that's not in their country or from a different region, but we have gotten interest from the ANZ region to host some events there.
Happy enough. What would be the sort of the requirements of, say, someone listened to this podcast, thought, okay, I like the sound of this, and they wanted to enter a team? What would be their sort of requirements?
So, IEG is largely a community-based amateur league. So what that means is IL Open is open to every single team that wants to sign up for it. Some teams obviously will be better, and we expect that, but it gives every player an opportunity to play that wants to play. That does mean it's a little bit more volatile. It does mean that there's a lot more teams that drop out, but IEL Open feeds directly into IELC, which is our Premier League. And kind of some info for next season on that. We're actually going to drop it down to 8 teams and increase the size of IEL Open, just to kind of get the quality over the quantity.
Yeah, I can agree with that and see where that's coming from. Is it sort of free for anyone to enter up? Do they require teams? Is there maybe a pool for someone that's looking for a team?
So this season it was free to enter. Next season, because I'm in college and because I don't make a lot of money off of what I do for IEG, we are looking into hosting paid entry tournaments and leagues. It's not the most popular of topics, money, but it is something that is kind of necessary to keep going with IEG. But yeah,
yeah, I'm sure that would sort of contribute to a better quality of tournaments being run.
Yeah.
I mean, you find sometimes with, not necessarily taking IEG as example, but I know back in the old days with Rainbow Six, not Rainbow Six, it was CS:GO 1.6. You'd have free tournaments, and you'd find the admins just didn't care because, well, they weren't getting paid to be there.
Exactly, yeah.
So maybe be a better quality of tournaments, maybe prizes and stuff like that there. I mean, it would be good. Do you think this is a bit of a weird one, that IEG has helped players prepare, to go into ESL, Challenger leagues, and Pro leagues? Being in that competitive scene, do you think it helps them prepare for that?
Definitely. We've actually had a few former Challenger League and I think a few, don't go beyond this, but maybe a few former pro level players playing on the team. So having those players to look up to and watch on streams, it gives players and spectators kind of that, like, okay, this is what they are doing and this is like what made them good in the first place. If I can, I guess, emulate that in my own gameplay, then that just allows them to play to a whole new level. So in that sense, yeah, I do think it helps, but for the player, it depends on how much time they're willing to put into it.
Okay, fair enough. And then just off the back of that one, is there any success stories of players or even IEG staff, that are moved into new surroundings, higher leagues, or anything like that? I know you've only been going a year, but has there been anything?
Back when we first started out, the first caster we actually picked up was Interrobang. He was the first caster. I'm 99% sure, but I think that we were the first league that he casted for.
Okay.
And then obviously he transitioned into CCS and made it mainstream. And I take zero credit for that, but he was the first, I guess, staff member that went on to be in a major position.
Okay. That's pretty cool. It's good that you were able to work with people again and actually watch them progress on. I'm sure it's, although you say you didn't have a hand in it, I mean, at the end of the day, you give him experience.
There's another caster that you guys should look out for. His name is Flynn. He recently casted for Northern Arena. That's a guy to keep your eye on. He has the potential to get up there.
Well, they'll keep an eye out for that one. Is he still casting for Northern Arena at the moment?
I do believe so. I think actually he and Interrobang were co-casting, so that was something to watch, or it will be. I'm not sure if it's happened yet.
I know the Northern Arena had one game on. I think it was on Saturday night. I'm not too sure. Let me go back and check that if it was. Okay, so what's next for IEG then? I know you said you're looking to. You talked about next season dropping the mains, the Premier League down to 8 teams. So what is next for IEG as a whole? Are you looking more teams, etc.? And where do you see IEG in the next few months and years?
So short term, what we've been focusing on is establishing a better staff base. What that means is picking up new staff members, and obviously, some of the staff members that we do pick up, and it ends up not being their thing. It is volunteer work. I don't expect everyone to spend every waking moment of their lives focused on IEG and only IEG. That's just common courtesy to me, and so dealing with that. Dealing with the fact that people wouldn't be able to put as much time as we needed to get where we wanted to. That was something that we had to focus on and establish a larger base for. Long term, what I think that we can do to improve and where I think IEG really growing is advertising. We have been awful in advertisement and just getting our name out there. Like you said before, I guess I reached out to you. You had no idea what IEG was.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it. You do see sometimes on like subreddit forums about, I wish there was more Rainbow Six leagues, especially at the lower tier levels where it's not all ESLs that they could get involved in. So I mean, yeah, more advertising would be good. It would try and give you a bigger audience because from what I can see, you have something good going there, and it's something that more people could get involved in.
Yeah, and kind of where I see IEG in say a year or so. Obviously, I want to see it still be around. That would be awesome. That would kind of be a dream come true to me. Pardon me. dealing with a little bit of throat issues. Sorry, guys.
No, you're 100%.
But yeah, long term, I really want to see IEG grow to host more than 2 divisions. I also want to see it grow as a community. I want to see people be involved in that. Just kind of have a personal hand in making sure the Rainbow Six community doesn't turn into kind of the crapshoot that CSGO has recently become. But I do see Rainbow Six Siege as a little bit more of a grown-up version of CSGO. I might get some flack for that, but there is a much like more professional base of players here, which I'm very happy with.
Yeah, I could agree. I could actually agree with that, to be fair. But yeah, well, thank you very much. That's most of the questions I have based around IEG. Is there anything else you want to say, or anything else that you want to provide us before we move on?
I think we'll hit on that a little bit later. You have some topics that you want me to weigh in on, so
I do. No problem. Well, we'll move on then. So, as most people will know, it's been Invitational week. Last week with all the qualifiers, and then previously, it was on Friday. They drew groups, and just before that, they had all the invites and things like that. The teams who were invited. So we're just going to go through that a wee bit. Let's see here. Did you want to kick us off?
Yeah, well, just picking up where you said, been an interesting week. Obviously, teams being invited. Actually, oh, I'm sorry, my phone's messing up.
Are you okay? So yeah, invited teams. We all got invited then.
Yeah, sorry, technical difficulties with my phone where I write my notes. Interesting that we talk about the teams because some of the teams actually got a new
New organization.
Yeah, that's the word. Sorry, I'm not. But the 4 teams being invited, Team FOM is now FaZe, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Team Liquid, Grove, and 1UP.
Yeah.
So personally, FaZe, very happy to see them. Obviously, big in COD and others like CSGO. Hopefully, get Optic in here. Bit of rivalry going on there. Brovck, obviously, former Pro League. So that'd be exciting to see them. 1UP, the new Team Liquid. Very happy to see new teams.
Yeah, they were not going to focus on this, but the 1UP one did cause a bit of controversy in EU during the week, when it was announced, my Twitter feed just kind of blew up with people complaining and people arguing about why they shouldn't have been invited. But Ubisoft has invited them. That's nonetheless. We're not here to debate why. We're here to present the news. All right. So after that, there was the community vote, and this is the results of the community vote. Wow. This ended on Sunday night. It was last night, and I was sitting in the Pro League the Pro League subreddit Discord, chatting with a few people all the way through, constantly refreshing, because it was nail biting right down to the very end. I think at one point BRK and Vitality were both sitting on like 48%, and then it was going 1% to BRK, then back to the same 1% to Vitality, and back to the same. I think at one point as well, Vitality was actually down by 2%. I mean, 2% of like, so was it 600,000 votes? That's 6,000. That's around what, 6,000 votes. 1% is 6,000 votes, so 2%, 12,000 votes. They were 12,000 votes behind, and obviously managed to crawl it up to being, what was that, 4% above. That's absolutely unreal. Per flip side, Mantis didn't really get a look in, unfortunately. Obviously, French communities and Brazilian communities being quite popular and big. I mean, they had some presidents. I think it was it was one of the politicians. It wasn't one of the politicians in France, Macaron, actually tweeted about Vitality. You know, they got some big names. I think it was a couple of Brazilian footballers as well were tweeting, trying to get BRK some votes. It was absolutely unreal. But again, there was controversy around this last night. Again, my Twitter feed blew up. But again, we're not going to go into that one. All I will say is there's been some very not nice pictures been put up about Fatality having actually won that. But that gives us then all of our teams. And then from there, I think we've got brackets, don't we, Dante?
Yeah, we from here we move, as you said, we got our teams. We move on to brackets. This is as you'll see now, this is Group A of the brackets. We have Penta, big team Penta, Team Vitality getting that community vote. Evil Genius, obviously known as Continuum, and then One Up. Definitely a very interesting group. Personally, not my group of death, but
right. So this is the point where I'm going to ask both of you, Brovck and Dante, the two teams you see making it out of this group. Brovck, start with you. What do you think is going to make it out?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with my favorites, Penta and Evil Geniuses. I mean, I just like the teams. I'm gonna root for them regardless. So,
well, being from NA, I can kind of understand the Evil Genius and Penta having won 2 seasons this year. I mean, that's also understandable. Dante, what's your picks?
I'm actually gonna go with the same. Penta, picking up Sharko now from Ents as very interesting. Obviously, big fan of Canadian from Continuum. Obviously, Evil Genius now. So Penta and Evil Genius to get out of this.
Yeah, I also agree. Penta and Evil Genius. Simple as that. Bracket 2, we've got Team Liquid, Room Factory, Rogue GG, and Mind Freak. I think this one's a little bit harder to call. Dante, I'll start with you on this one.
I'm gonna go with Team Liquid and Rogue.
Rogue.
Watching Team Liquid, I was very impressed. Room Factory, very impressed too. But I think I've seen a lot of mistakes by Room Factory, so I don't know if the pressure's gonna get to them. And Rogue, obviously, I know Mind Freak are like a new team to everyone, so I reckon Rogue's gonna take that easy, no doubt about it.
Okay, fair enough. Brovck?
Oh, it's Team Liquid and Rogue GG for me as well. I'm just a fan of both the teams.
Yeah, fair enough. Personally, I'm gonna go against with one of them. I'm gonna go Rune Factory and Rogue. Rune Factory being, I think they're a Polish team. I kind of want them to go through. Being from EU. Rogue, because I actually kind of like King George, even though he's not on Rogue anymore. He stepped away from the Pro League. I think he's still a part of the team, but he's just stepped away from professional play at the moment. So, I mean, I have a soft spot for King George, so I want him to win. Going on to bracket 3 then, don't I?
This is obviously my group with elevating. Black Dragons, yeah, gaming, elevate. Let's go. Team Supremacy. My predictions, I probably think Black Dragons and elevate.
See, this is where me and you are going to fall out. Big style. You being the Elevate fan and me being the Supremacy fan. It is possible for both Elevate and Supremacy to get out of this bracket. You know, it is possible they could. If Elevate win both games, they win their first game and win their second game, they go straight through. Team Supremacy lose, then win, they will go through. So yeah, you can kind of get both. I'm gonna go with Black Dragons and Supremacy to go through. What about you, Brovck, then?
Personally, I don't know too much about Black Dragons and gaming, but from the game B matchup, I'm definitely gonna take Elevate to win that one, and then move on. Now,
Well done.
You're all against me. Come on, Supremacy. Yeah. Me and Dante and Lonise might not know their background. We both come from Xbox playing, though I've recently transitioned to playing PC as well. We followed Elevate and Supremacy during the Xbox Pro Leagues last year, so we've kind of continued following them on throughout now into PC. We're both quite strongly felt about this.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a big Elevate fan and I'm the Supremacy fan. But yeah, this will be an interesting one. So, on to the final group. We have Ensa Esports, Era Eternity, FaZe Clan, and Ainz. I think I've been pronouncing that wrong in the last few podcasts. I would say Innis. Brovck, I'm going to come to you first.
Okay. Personally, I want to see Era and FaZe, but I gotta say I see ENC and Era going through. I have a gut feeling.
Donna.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go Era and FaZe, believe it or not. I think with the roster of Sharko for Ents, I reckon that's gonna do big on their team. I haven't seen them obviously because they get the free, and so I haven't seen them play obviously in qualifiers without Sharko. So I think the pressure's actually gonna get to them.
Yeah, with Shate leaving and going to Penta, it could be a big thing. I agree with you. I don't know. Yeah, Shate, you were saying Shaiko, weren't you?
Yeah.
Press 4 for respect. Ensa Esports. I still got a soft spot for them from back in year 1 when they were Sisu. I don't know. Shate could have been a big loss to them. But I'm gonna pick them, and I'm gonna go with FaZe, just because FaZe, the name FaZe, even though it's the same team as Font, and Font, believe it or not, done quite well this year. I just like FaZe. Their CS:GO team has my favorite player, so that's why I'm gonna back them. No other speculation, but now that we've seen all the teams that are there, overall prediction for a winner. Dante, who do you want to win overall?
Well, obviously, I want Elevate to win, but I don't think, believe it or not, I don't actually think they're gonna win. I'm probably gonna have to go with Penta. They're just a strong EU team. Shate, the addition of him, that's huge boost.
Yeah, fair enough. Brovck, how do you think overall for the entire Invitationals?
You still the team, man. I was gonna say Penta too. I gotta say Penta, yeah. They're really consistent right now. They're looking really good.
Okay, I'm gonna go Evil Genius 2 years in a row. Let's go. Let's go, Canadian. Take it home.
Oh,
So that's it for most of the invitational stuff. As I say, we've got the invites, we have the community votes, so we know all the teams that are coming, and we now have the groups. It's going to be fun. It's only a few weeks away. It's going to be a fun week, a fun entire week of games. I think it's from the 13th till the 17th, 18th. I don't know what the Saturday is.
I think it's 5 days, 13th to then 18th.
Casually look at the calendar. Yeah, Tuesday the 13th to Sunday the 18th. So that's going to be absolutely unreal. Moving on to general news then. I don't know has been in the news a lot this week. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, Dante, but I'll run through it. Exactly. So first of all, renewals left because they didn't get the community vote. They didn't qualify. I don't think it was because they didn't get community vote. I think it was just because they didn't qualify originally, and they didn't get an invite. Renewals announced on Twitter that he was leaving. I don't know. Snooker knows. Wish the rest of the team good luck in the future. He's now a free agent. I mean, the team said they weren't really surprised. Meepy said on stream last night that, renewals did kind of, he gave them the reason that it's because they didn't qualify. I think he's just a little bit disheartened. I don't know, were strong most of the year. I think it was season 1 they finished 4th in the EU. Season 2, which is a bit worse, they finished 5th. And season 3 they finished 3rd. They would have got the LAN, only obviously APAC region came in that year, and Europe and North America dropped down to just 2 slots. So kind of get a disappointment. They've had a almost but not quite year. I felt sorry for him. But after that, there was another blow. And it was this secretly. He announced that he was leaving, I don't know, as well. So after a lot of thinking, I've decided to leave the team. It's been a wild ride with a lot of ups and downs, but I've learned tons and improved as a player. Not really sure what the future will hold for now. I was considering taking a break from Rainbow to try other things, but with so much happening right now, I have a feeling I'll stick around for a long time. I wish the best of luck to the future, and I'm sure our paths will cross again. Yet another big blow to, I don't know. So that's now 2 teams or 2 players the same week. And previously to the start of the qualifications, they also got rid of Snookin as well. So that was 3 of their main players completely gone, leaving only 2 of the originals, which was Meepy and Lackey. Leon was obviously their sub. He's now playing full time, which brought into question. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, Dante, but the ESL rules were that you have to have at least three players play 50% of the previous season in order to guarantee your spot in the next season. Which, because they've lost 3 other players, there was only 2. There was talk of them not actually getting into year 3, season 1 of Pro League, and having to go through Challenger League all over again. But thankfully, Meepy put this up last night. I was never so glad to see this. After a private discussion with ESL, they've confirmed that we are able to keep our Pro League spot, so that's good news for the start. Long and short of it, basically, Leon Gids, because he was a member of the team, even though he was only a sub, he was an official member of the team from the start of year 2, season 3. So he counts it as having played those 50%. Even if he didn't play physically, he counts as being a member of the team for that 50%. He references how Penta used to have Falco as a 6th man. So, I mean, that's interesting. Glad for Meepy and the I Don't Know guys having a bit of British pride, with Meepy, Lackey and Leon all being from the UK. So that was the news around them this week. The next bit of news I want to cover, I'm going to come to Brovck to explain this. There was a new website announced, and there's not a lot of people are aware of what exactly is going to be on this website. It's called Siege GG, This was the tweet that went out. It was also put up on the Reddit and the Reddit Discord. So, Brovck, why don't you tell us a bit about CGG, seeing as I believe you're heavily involved in it?
Yeah, honestly, there's not a lot I can share. If I was able to, I would show you a screenshot of the site, but we're still working on kind of finishing touches on that. For the most part, it's going to be news. It's going to be similar to HLTV if anyone's familiar with that. It's a CS:GO website. It'll have CGG will have news, fantasy, similar to fantasy football, betting with virtual money on matches, potentially other stuff down the line, and a dedicated podcast. So essentially, a hub for everything that is Rainbow Six competitive. So yeah, it's honest. It's going to be awesome. There's a lot more information coming out. There is going to be some sort of beta registration membership type thing. So if anyone's interested in that, go give us a follow on Twitter. We'll be announcing it there. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and for those of you, that Twitter is just on the screen there, so it's siege_GG. For those that are listening, that I will actually see our screen. Yeah, so siege_GG is their Twitter. Go give them a follow. So yeah, I mean, Dante, thoughts on the dedicated website?
Yeah, that's actually really good. Quick, obviously, like what we're doing with the podcast, just a quick way to catch up to date. And the betting, obviously, 18 plus, surely will bet in.
I guess, yeah, because it's not actually a real currency. Brovck was saying there, it's
Yeah,
digital currency, which you probably earn for different contributions to the site, and probably earn it from their fantasy and whatnot. We'll
yeah,
see how that comes out.
Yeah, there'll be a variety of ways you can earn currency. Still working on the details, obviously, but there will be some sort of currency on the site.
Yeah. Good.
nice. Yeah, so that's like you got your news and then betting. So I reckon that'd be a really awesome website. Go check out.
Yeah, I like the fantasy idea of it. I mean, I play. I'm no good at like fantasy football or fantasy soccer, as you Americans might know our one as well. But I do the CS:GO fantasy leagues, and I find it great fun. So being able to have one for Rainbow, it's something I've actually been looking for. I was looking for. I'm surprised ESL didn't run one because I think they run the CS:GO ones, but haven't seen now that this is coming. That's actually really great. So moving on, the org changes we touched a little bit on. Dante, if you want to take us through the org changes.
Yeah, gaming. Sorry to say yeah. Um, yeah, gaming picks up. So I'm gonna slate this name. I am so sorry, but Latch Latchano.
I think it's Lancharo.
Shower, yeah. Gaming picks up Lashara. Very obviously picking up teams, getting more recognition out there is great for Siege. So more teams like this is going to be excellent for Siege.
And correct me if I'm wrong. That Gaiman was Fallen, wasn't it? You know, the CS:GO player.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the other one you touched on.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. FaZe interesting pickup Team Font. And Team Font did excellent, I think, in the LAN. So having FaZe behind their back is going to be amazing for organization.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's another good one. Then another one.
Team One picking obviously. Sorry, I'm slating a name again.
I
Team
try.
One pick up. Team One picking up Marciano.
Yeah, I have messed that name up a lot this last two Pro League podcasts. No,
Yeah.
I actually don't know what it is either. So I mean, forgive me for that one.
And then the last one is Team Liquid picking up Mopa. That's again very very interesting. And oh yeah, sorry, I'm scrolling for my no. Brovck Global acquired Brovck.
Yeah, I haven't read the full announcement. There is a full announcement on their website, but I don't. It's not actually an org change as much though. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a buyout of management, isn't it?
Buyout of management.
Yeah. So the Red Global pretty much, for anyone that's not really in the business, Red Global has pretty much purchased Rogue as an asset of theirs. They'll keep the same name, keep the same players, probably keep a lot of the same staff, but they have brought over Red Global CEO then becomes Rogue CEO type thing.
Yeah.
One nice wee thing we got a sneak peek of this week, if you tuned into the live draw podcasts. So there's two things, but we'll talk about the first one first. Layout of the Invitationals. This is a not finalized version of the arena. What's your thoughts on it? When just looking at that photo.
Yeah, I think it's obviously you got the swings at the top. I'm guessing that's going to be four. Obviously, from the picture we can see two, but I'm guessing there's going to be another two on the side. So like four strings for the fans to watch, and then you got the players down in the center. I'm guessing the casters will be like behind.
This sort of cutout thing.
Yeah.
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 I don't know about this. It looks really good, right? See, from a TV viewer's perspective, so us watching on Twitch and stuff, because unfortunately we're not going. I think it looked pretty cool. You've kind of got all the teams and you've got the players behind them. But think of it as from a player's perspective. It's going to be very noisy. You've got all the teams behind you shouting and stuff.
Yeah.
There's none of that sort of gap. And this event sold out. So they're going to be packed.
And yeah, the interesting thing at the LAN event there was a sound booth.
Yes, that's right. There was, wasn't there?
There's not one here, so having fans on the left and the right of you is I don't know. Personally, might put you off. Might.
Yeah, and then if it's not the fans that are putting you off, you're that close together, you might actually hear the other team's call-outs.
Yeah, I think they need to like either put sound booths there, or they need to like drift it apart. So like have like one side and then another, like basically looking at each other, but like obviously they're far apart, so they can't hear or see the streams.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the obviously this is just an artist impression. Brovck, have you got any thoughts on it?
I mean, it looks really cool, but like you were talking about, it could be potentially very loud, and you guys touched on pretty much everything that could be talked about.
No worries. And then the one last news section. Do you want to tell us about that one, Doctor?
Yeah, as a upcoming Siege esports documentary, following I believe it's got 4 parts, episodes rather not. One episode one called Stay on Top. Episode 2, Preach the Fortress. Episode 3, Gear Up. Episode 4, Secure the Clutch. It's following Kits, Evil Genius, Team Liquid, Supremacy, and slating the name again. Mel Granny.
Melagini. Yeah, the Brazilian caster.
Yeah. It will be called the I'm slating
the Escalation.
Escalation.
Yeah, so overall it's called The Escalation and broken down into those 4 parts. Think Stay on Top is about, I mean, this is just my theory. Stay on Top seems to be it's going to be about focus on how you stay on top of your game. Breach the Fortress is talking about how you use breachability to use lines of sight and gear your stats or your strats. Gear up, I don't think it's necessarily talking about gear as in, keyboards and mouses and whatnot. I think it's about how you as a person prepare yourself. Yeah. I think Secure the Clutch then is about just raw skill and training and things like that. I think it'd be very interesting to watch because I know they did that documentary last year, didn't they? During the Invitationals, where they followed Vitality. I think it was, I can't remember what you call it, Furious G from Vitality, and you had Kenny Hicks.
Yeah.
Good. It was really interesting to watch. So good to see more documentaries on behind the scenes. Obviously, I don't know exactly what teams do to try and get ready for these things, so it's quite interesting as a fan to sit back and watch that. You looking forward to seeing it, Brovck?
Yeah, of course. I'm always interested in watching Siege at a high level, and the documentary. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it will be. I think that's about us for this week.
I believe so. So if that is it, this has been Arsit Crowley podcast. Here with me, Dante. Over to the left, Dashi, and thank you for our special guest, Brovck. Thank you very much for your input.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for having me on. Yeah, it was awesome.
No problem. So, thank you, everyone. Bye bye.